Life works in the strangest ways. One minute, your palm is full with possibilities. The next minute, your heart is heavy with hollowness. Kate never got the chance to see her parents or to spend time with them as a family, but I know that she came from a place which was made with true love. Now, you will know it too. You see that girl who pushed the couple apart? That's Karolina Crook. Always late, no matter how hard she tries. But to be honest, she doesn't try hard enough to be on time.
What is the excuse this time, Karolina?
The professor waved her into the class.
Miss, there was a riot on the street. Some kind of protest. I promise I wasn't involved in it. You know how I hate such things. They just create a traffic jam for us average people who want to go to their jobs and schools.
It's a good thing you're not a drama major, Karolina. You would be flunking your classes for sure.
The whole class laughed, knowing how ridiculously Karolina lied. She rushed into the class and sat next to her friends, Rebecca, the shy one, and Kourtney, who was more of a frenemy.
So like I was saying, we should go bowling later.
Karolina hugged Becca and presented a tiny cupcake with a single candle on it.
Happy birthday, Bex.
Rebecca's eyes welled up, her cheeks flushed as she was overwhelmed with joy. Even as the class progressed, Rebecca casually blew the candle and ate her tiny birthday cupcake. Karolina's eyebrows were furrowed at the sudden silence. She turned to look at the front. The professor was missing. She turned to her right and saw Rebecca looking above Karolina's head. Karolina gulped her fear and turned back to see the professor standing right behind her.
Ma'am,
How many times am I supposed to stop what I am teaching in order to shout at you, Karolina? This isn't even quantum physics anymore. It's a class on Karolina Crook. Come, let's go.
She grabbed Karolina's arm and walked down the stairs of the class.
Solve it.
What?
Solve the equation. Do not let me take you to the dean's office.
Carolina turned around to see the equation on the board. She thought to herself where she saw this before.
If you write a problem down clearly and specifically, you have solved half of it.
Meryl listened to her and smiled, a little bit proud of her. Carolina quickly had a moment of eureka and solved the problem.
So, is it right?
It is.
The bell rang as Carolina jumped high.
Do you see what will happen if you try more, Karolina?
Carolina put her hands together as she accepted the professor's wisdom. She ran out of the classroom, eager to join her mates.
Hey!
Rebecca and Kourtney turned around as Carolina emerged from between them and grabbed onto their hands.
So, what do you want to do today?
We should do something fun. Let's say, let's go bowling.
Your treat?
Absolutely. Eye on the ball.
Carolina aimed at the center of the pins. She took a deep breath, lunged back, and released the bowling ball. She watched the ball avidly as it got closer to the pins and cleaned them all out.
Woohoo!
Whoa! That was the best one!
Your turn, Court. Can you try to beat me? Come on, guys.
Courtney accepted the challenge. She took her ball and released it with flair, but 4 pins still remained.
It was still a really good shot.
It really was, Court.
They looked up at the scoreboard, and Carolina had won with the highest score.
I guess it's just about the physics of it all. Do you think I should thank Professor Merrill for my win?
Maybe if you played with real players, you wouldn't be so cocky.
Excuse me, what did you say?
Chill. I was just interested in a friendly game.
A guy playing on the alley next to theirs got up and challenged Carolina. Courtney smelled cheap beer coming off of his mouth. Even his friends were a bit wasted.
Let's just go. Our game is over anyway.
But why should we leave? It's your birthday, Becca.
Do you want to go, Bex?
Run, little girls. Run back home to your daddies.
That's it. Let's play.
Wow, you've got some guts. Let's see how much.
Let's make a bet.
If we win, we'll take you girls with us.
If we win, you'll walk out of here in nothing but your underwear.
What?
The challenge was issued. For a moment, everyone seemed to be eager to win. They all took their positions and played turn by turn. The boys were strong players. Rebecca decided to sit this one out. She didn't want to be the cause of making them lose. Courtney and Carolina had a tough time as the scores went neck to neck.
Is that all you got? Even my niece plays better than that.
One of the guys got too close to Courtney. Her palm itched to slap him. Rebecca noticed. She turned around to speak to Carolina, but instead, she saw Carolina frozen like a statue.
Karolina?
Karolina was focused on the pins. She saw a glimmer of the future where all three women hugged each other and jumped, celebrating their win. But Brad approached them angrily with an empty bottle of beer. He smashed the bottle on Rebecca's head.
Karolina? Karolina!
Rebecca shook her so hard that Karolina returned back to reality. She saw that there was no fight yet. The boys were still playing. No one was hurting anyone.
Oh no.
It's your turn. Let's finish this and go home. I don't feel safe here.
Karolina pulled her close and hugged her. Karolina realized that she had a vision of what's to come. Quickly, she devised a plan. She still wanted to win, but she needed to make sure that Rebecca doesn't get hurt.
I won't let anything happen to you, all right? We'll get out of here ASAP. Kourt, listen to me.
Karolina whispered a strategy in Kourtney's ears. It was the winning turn. Karolina and Kourtney did their secret handshake.
I got it!
Karolina picked the ball and approached the pins. She gave a stink eye to Brad and his gang. She took the stance and released the ball. Without turning to look at the outcome, Karolina held Rebecca and Kourtney's hand and ran towards the bar to make sure that Brad doesn't hurt them.
Let's teach those little girls what happens when they disrespect us.
Brad turns around, but he sees that the girls have disappeared.
Seems like they got scared and ran away.
The only people who should be scared are you and your friends.
We've won, fair and square. Now it's your turn to hold up to your end of the bet.
Karolina, Kourtney, and Rebecca started chanting on the microphone, calling them losers. They didn't have to be scared because the boys wouldn't dare to hurt them when everyone else was looking at them. Realizing they have lost, Brad and his friends walked out of the arcade wearing just their briefs. Karolina stood at the door and took their pictures in her Polaroid camera. She gave it to Rebecca.
Happy birthday, Bex.
Why, thank you for the picture of half-naked men, Karolina. How could I ever give you a better gift than that?
All the girls hug each other and bid goodbye as this came to an end.
How are you getting home? Do you want me to drive you?
Oh, she doesn't need a ride from us, Becca. I'm sure her lover boy's coming to the rescue.
Karolina blushed at the mention of her boyfriend. It was true that she had been harboring a massive crush on one of her seniors. Just a month ago, they had gone on their first date, and now their relationship had reached an official status.
Good night, Care.
See you tomorrow.
Karolina looked at the sun setting perfectly as she waited for him to pull through. After a few moments, she turned around to see a fancy convertible driving down the hills towards the parking lot of the arcade.
Finally!
Karolina approached the car.
How dare you make me wait? Now you gotta make it up to me.
The door of the car opened. A tall, dark, handsome man stepped out.
I'm so sorry, I got stuck with the lecture.
Ethan, I'm just messing with you. We literally just finished the games.
Did you have fun?
Yes, it involved half-naked boys.
What? Should I be worried about this?
Only if you don't take me out for a coffee now.
Your wish is my command, Miss Karolina Crook.
Like a perfect gentleman, Ethan bowed down to Karolina and then guided her into the car for their dinner date.
Don't be shocked. There are many kinds of love in one's life. Even Karolina's life was filled with a lot of interesting relationships before Noah's chapter started and Kate was born.
Hey all! Install the Pocket FM app now by clicking on the link in the description and get exclusive access to all seasons of my full story $1 Million Girl. To watch the next episode of Season 1, tap here, and to watch the full Season 1, click on the playlist.